So this week's lesson, we're going to be talking about the water cycle. What is the water cycle? The water cycle is how water goes from rain through the rivers or underground back up into the atmosphere, making clouds, and coming back down as rain again. Some of the vocabulary words that we're going to learn is water cycle, condensation, evaporation, precipitation, groundwater, watershed, snowmelt, ocean, rivers, streams, lakes, and transpiration. You can look on this page here to see what some of the things are. We'll talk about them a little bit later in our presentation here. So precipitation. Precipitation is any kind of water that is coming from the sky. Could be rain, snow, sleet, or hail. All of them fall from the sky when the clouds come over us. Watershed is wherever the rain is landing, it flows into a stream or a river. Our gutters on our streets will go down into the sewers, and then it ends up coming down into the ocean eventually. So the watershed is any water that hits the land, and it all flows down into one general area and eventually ends up out in a lake or an ocean. Where does it all go? So as it goes down the rivers and stuff, the watershed's going to put you in streams, which are like small rivers, which are the big ones, lakes, or even all the way to the ocean. Everything's going to head towards a large body of water. When it gets there, it may sit around for a while, and on a nice warm day, we'll get evaporation. Evaporation is like when you're boiling water on the stove and you see the steam come up, or if any of you have been out to Yellowstone, you'll see the steam come off of the ground on a hot day when it's had a cold morning, it's been raining. Sometimes you can see the steam coming up off of the ground there as it heats up. That's evaporation. Plants have a different version. They have what's called transpiration. Transpiration is when the plants suck the water from the ground through their roots, pulls it up through the stem, and it comes out on little water droplets, usually under the leaf, and as it heats up, it goes back up into the sky. What is condensation? Condensation is water vapors that gather together to collect into clouds. When the clouds get heavy enough, what do you think happens? It turns back into a liquid again. You can see condensation on when you have a cold glass of water and the outside gets all wet, or your soda bottle. Sometimes you can see it on when you breathe on a piece of glass, when you do the sound and it ends up fogging up the glass. That's condensation. That's when the water from your breath is gathering on the glass. And as the water condensates, it gets tighter and it collects and the clouds form. And as the clouds get heavier and darker, we get the rain again. So tomorrow when you come in, I want you to think about some of these things, and we're going to do an experiment together in a class. Don't forget to bring your soda bottles in. A liter or 2 liter would be the best. I have everything else you'll need. We're going to build terrariums. We're going to build our own little water cycle inside these water bottles. Together, we're going to put the different layers that we need, just like the earth has. It has layers of rock, it has layers of sand, it has layers of soil, and we'll plant a few plants in there. We'll add a little water, and we'll watch and see what happens. How long do you think it's going to take to start forming water droplets and start raining on our plants inside our bottles? Do you think it's going to need sun? Or do you think we can just leave them inside the room where it just gets light? How hot do you think it's going to need to be? What are some other questions you might have that we'll come up with? We're going to take data in our journals and we'll watch over everything and see how it goes. We can take notes all throughout the day. We'll stop at certain times and write down what we notice and what observations we have about our own little water cycles. If you have a little extra time tonight, I want you to watch these little movies. Blazer Fresh here. They have a great song about the water cycle and it's very catchy. You might want to try it out. And I know you all love the Magic School Bus. So if you go on YouTube, I gave you the link right here, you can watch Wet All Over, and it's another version to show you what's the water cycle all about. All right, you guys practice those vocabulary words, and I will see you tomorrow in class.